folks. I thought I would do a follow-up on the microphone stands because I did a comparison. One of the stands that was only slightly featured was drafty stands, and there are certain features and certain things that I do particularly like about these drafty stands. One is the rather sleek appearance, because microphone stands, let's face it, they're a bunch of metal tubes, and over the decades there's not been a lot of change in them. The design hasn't changed much, but Gravity has actually tried to address this in some of their appearance. The first thing many of you will notice, the little colour rings around the stands. These are actually just coloured O-rings. You can actually just easily slip them off, and there we are. Sorry, microphone. And when you buy drafty stands, they also supply a pack of, well, in this case, black O-rings. So if you don't like the green, you can replace them with the black. Now, another thing I do like about the stand is a nice smooth operation and a very positive lock-in clutch system in it. Although I am demonstrating the short stands here, they do have a range of standard stands as well, and also they have the traditional tripod fold-up feet, along with the round base, which I have one here. Now, is this one? Yes, it is. On these stands, because I'm very particular about the stands, although microphone stands should not be, when on stage, it should not be the image grabbing pieces of gear that draws attention to themselves. So me being a bit fussy, I noticed that when I fold the tripod feet in, that where you see this bit of red, I've added that myself. It's just literally a few layers of insulation tape, because at the base of the tube you had this ring at the end, which the legs of course just came up and butted against, and over time it would have marked the legs. So in order to leave the legs unmarked, I put some insulation tape on. It doesn't affect the operation of the stand in any way, because as you see, the stand has fully adjusting height and has no bearing on its operation. One other area that drafty stands did, I felt they did give a bit of thought of modernising the stands, is in the boom. It is, like many modern stands now, a telescopic boom, but the telescopic part here, instead of being a knob that tightens down, it's a clutch, which I actually quite like, because it makes adjustment so quick and easy, where you look how many seconds it takes me to tighten that knob down. What's that? Let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 seconds. Now let's do this. 1 second. 1 second, 3.5 seconds. Okay, maybe you can adjust your mic stands faster than me, but I think I've made my point that it's a feature that personally I like. Is it something that might come loose over time? I don't know. It feels quite positive, and the plastic components feel quite good quality. So I would imagine it will be quite durable. One thing that I felt excuse me, I'll pop this out of the way, that some of you might actually think I'm being a bit picky here, is they do have a rather large knob for tightening to adjust your boom angle. Let's just extend this just now to simulate putting a mic on. And when extended, that's what, about 1.5, 2 tons. And with not a lot of weight, I can still get slippage in that. You see? So it takes possibly about a good 3 tons to make that go rigid. That's a lot of tons, and I feel when I'm doing these extra tons, I can actually feel through my fingers the pressure clamping down on the joint. It's not something. It's something I think could be improved, possibly by either a larger damper, a larger diameter area for the clamping to take place, or possibly a more high friction type of washers used. But that is just my personal opinion, and I would, apart from that, I think I would have voted these as my most favourite and best stands. That I would class as my only weakness. But perhaps in the future, maybe Grafty might be something they might improve on. But otherwise, I can't fault these stands. They are really good quality, they have a good quality build. All the rubber components have a nice softness to them in the feet, so it will dampen them. The handles have got a nice rubbery feel to them. Everything's got good rubbery feel. So when you're adjusting a lot of stands, it is easy to adjust because of the rubber texture. Unlike, well, my Tama stand, it's all metal, and if I feel I need to tighten, if I had to tighten quite a few of them, I think I'd end up having to wear gloves, because it does, maybe I've just got soft skin, I don't know, but you do feel it on your skin if you're tightening all metal stands. Now, I'm going to show you the round base stands in this range. They do have, of course, a Studio Range 2, which is basically heavier stands, more weight to them. But these stands are quite light, but they're very stable. And when you are gigging and on the move, especially when you get as old as me, last thing you want is to have heavy things. Now I have this in both the standard size stand and the short stand. And why do I like the round base? Because I can get more stands into a smaller space when I'm having to transport them. So I don't have to take such a large bag for my mic stands. I can actually use a smaller bag. It just means you've got to allow a bit more time for setup, because smaller bag means you've got to separate your booms. So you have your booms, your main stems, and your bass. And for the bass, I've actually used a Stanley tool bag, because obviously to carry about 4 or 5 of these basses, you need a strong bag because of the weight. Okay, what's my overall impressions with Grafty stands? Well, if you want good quality stand at a really good value for money, and most important, it will last you long years, I'm pretty confident that I can recommend Grafty stands as one to consider on your shortlist.